We're in the Mariposa Grove of giant sequoias in Yosemite National Park, and we are on a quest for, well, I guess my favorite plant, the snow plant. It's the only totally red, scarlet red plant that we're gonna find. It looks like a neon red psychedelic asparagus. A lot of people expect snow plant to be white, but it got the name because it blooms in the spring, and oftentimes there's still patches of snow on the ground. Sometimes it's emerging near or erupting right through.
So the snow plant is part of the springtime Yosemite experience. Certainly it was something that startled me when I first came to Yosemite decades ago. That's one of the aha moments for visitors. The thing that causes the brake lights to come on in these spots is, what did I just see? What was that bright red thing alongside the road?
I saw them many years ago in Yosemite and hadn't seen them since, and I've been kind of looking for them as we drive along in the woods. And boom, there was like a whole grove of them, and they're just like popping up out of the pine needles and everything. And I thought, well, maybe they're a mushroom.
It's just like it's so out of place. Maybe it's the beginning of a tree.
No.
Is that how the tree begins?
That looks like a tree from Mars.
Cactus, maybe? I don't know, or one of those yucca.
Champignon, mushroom.
Yes, maybe a mushroom.
You know, some botanists call them fungus flowers because they do look like fungus. And of course, what people are getting at is the fact that this does not look like your typical plant. Obviously, there is a color missing from these plants, and that is the powerful green. And the obvious question is, well, if it's not photosynthesizing, how is it getting its food? And the short answer is they're stealing it.
People might be a little shocked to know that these are the cheaters of the plant world. They're parasites on the fungi in the soil. The two prominent groups that have acquired the parasitic lifestyle are the heather family and the orchid family. So within a few hundred yards of here, we have both snow plant, we have pine drops, they're both heather family parasites. And nearby, there's also coral root, a parasitic orchid. There's also phantom orchid, brilliantly white orchid plant. All four of those species are connected to the fungi in the soil, and through the fungi are receiving the sugars that they need from the surrounding forest trees.
From my perspective, this is brilliant. This is another way to make a living, if you will. So in that respect, kudos to the snow plant here. You found another way to exploit the system.
The snow plants and their ilk, it's fun to think of them as this cheater of the system. They're taking and not giving back. But it's also an evolutionary strategy where they managed to survive in a shadowy forest community where not a whole lot else can survive. What they are doing is contributing to our biodiversity, to the forest interest, to the animal species that are using them for nectar and pollen. There's not a whole lot blooming in here right now that would sustain a hummingbird besides these snow plants.
One of the greatest natural history moments in life. Hummingbirds are dancing around these flowers, and that is one dance you do not want to miss. Anyone who comes to the Sierra Nevada this time of year, May and June, is going to be captivated by this plant. This is the time of year that you're not looking in meadows, you're actually looking underneath these conifers that dominate this park.
A lot of our roads wind through conifer forests, and there's not a whole lot going on in some of the darker spots except for these brilliantly colored snow plants. I hope that people will also pull over and get out and get a snow plant's eye view of it, because even up close it's quite impressive creature.